here today to interview architect Stephanie Gilles. So, architect, tell us about yourself.
I'm currently the principal architect and planner of SNG Design Enterprise. Will stand for my initials. And we do mostly liturgical architecture. Churches, chapels, columbaries, memorial parks. But we also go into residentials, institutional buildings like schools and clinics and other buildings, office buildings and commercial buildings. Then other affiliations, I'm part of the UAP, the United Architects of the Philippines. I'm active in the Emergency Architects, and I'm currently the chairman, following the steps of the founding chairman, who's architect Ray Gabitan. It was founded in November 2013, the month of Yolanda, the super typhoon. And one thing that prompted me to be part of this organization, which is the advocacy of which is disaster resiliency and helping the disaster-stricken communities to rehabilitate and recover, is, when I saw the video of Yolanda, I couldn't believe how much the people suffered. The people of Tacloban. So I said, I have to do something. So I packed my things, I went to Tacloban and joined the group of architects, emergency architects. And we helped some communities. So now we're doing capacity building seminars to make architects aware of the importance of designing disaster resilient construction, houses and buildings, evacuation shelters. Recently we launched a competition called, it was the first UAP Joint Emergency Disaster Healthcare Facilities, the same competition. So we had 4 grand prize winners from 50,000 to 40,000 cash prize, and again, they're very happy. And it was a very enriching experience. We learned from each other. And what else can I see? But just ask me that. Well, I took my master's in architecture and my Bachelor of Science in Architecture in the UP Diliman College of Architecture. And right after college, I took a 3-year postgraduate course in Italy, interdisciplinary studies, languages, culture, classical architecture. So I think basically that's where I learned, how to look at the various types of churches and the designs. So,
incorporate the focus on designs.
Yeah. And what else? I was a member of, I took up a diploma course in the UP School of Urban and Regional Planning. I finished it last year. And then I also was active with the UP Planners Organization. I was chairman of that organization for a year. And my last year in UP CERT. And
Very interesting.
I think that's enough.
Alright. So we will now proceed to the asking of questions, which will be held at random. So, architect.
Nakakatakot naman ito, parang reverse.
So, what project of yours has given you the most satisfaction or has been the most fulfilling, and why?
I like that question because one of my first projects actually was to help a very poor family have their own house. For many years they were staying in almost like a shanty, wherein Navotas. And every time it rains and it floods and the waters really practically at their house. So I went there and I offered my services pro bono. They just took care of my maybe allowance. And so I got in touch with a contractor and I remember we built that house for less than, a very modest amount, because it was the only budget that the family had. And yeah, I was happy to have done that. That was one of my first, let's say, corporate social responsibility projects.
Yes.
And then another project that I liked, which started me on this specialization of liturgical architecture, was actually when I was asked by my former boss. I used to work with architect Roger Gilles. The time we were designing Shangri-La, Shangri-La Mandaluyong. And after that, so I wasn't working with the company anymore, and then I went back to visit them, and then architect Roger was there, and we were talking, and then suddenly his son Roy came, and then says, "Dad, I need somebody who can design a chapel for me, because we need to design the chapel in National Bookstore." You know National Bookstore here? Where's National Bookstore?
So,
There. Very near,
Yeah.
walking distance from here. So, and then architect Roger said, "Oh, yes, si Stefo." So we collaborated on that, and yeah, it was one of my first few chapel projects, and I enjoyed it. Because a chapel is always meaningful. It's not, yeah. It's a very meaningful project. It means a lot to me. It means a lot to the people using it, and it's like you're creating a space where you make people communicate with God.
Yeah.
So you connect the people with God. And besides, it is, it's always put to good use. There are some spaces that are neutral.
Yes.
It depends on the function that the users designate to it. But then in this case, a chapel is always good.
It welcomes everyone.
Yeah. And then after that, I started on the chapel project. I got referrals and even went as far as Bataan to do a chapel for a small barrio. They were so grateful. They even gave me a plaque of appreciation. Like that one. This one.
I see.
Anyway, so I said, wow, this is the first time I received a plaque from a very modest community. We're so grateful. Anyway, and then 3 years ago, we designed the landmark McCarthy Chapel, which is rather big because it can contain about more than 1,000 persons. It's like a church already. And now we're doing landmark Trinoma Chapel, which is even double the capacity. So yeah,
Double
look
the
forward to that. But it's very fulfilling because what I usually do at the end of the project, especially if it's a chapel, I sit at the back. And then I see the people coming and attending Mass or just praying. And it gives you a lot of satisfaction.
Because you see everyone.
Yeah.
using it.
The space is activated in the best purpose possibly that there could be. And the best part is they don't know that I was the one who designed it. You're just anonymous.
Yeah.
You disappear. Nobody knows.
Oh.
And it's, you offer that. So,
To be there at that moment, just seeing everything must be very fulfilling.
Yeah, very fulfilling. And well, now the work that I'm doing with emergency architects is also fulfilling in a sense because we help the communities that are in need. So recently, like last November, I was asked to go to Tacloban for 3 days during the APEC. So we did like a mini APEC there in Tacloban. We visited the resettlement housing sites together with some NGOs, local and international, and other architects, and we made an assessment. We had a workshop, so how things could improve, and we made like policy recommendations also. So we looked into the hazard mapping, into the what things could have been avoided, what are the best practices, do's and don'ts. And in the next project, what could we incorporate so that things could be better? We build back better. And then last month we participated in a similar, resettlement housing site visit in Samar, Giwan, Samar, and Tacloban. So yeah, these are fulfilling because these are like, I'm passionate about emergency architecture, and otherwise, why will I do it? No,
Right.
I'm not earning anything from here. Spending a lot of time and money. But if you're convinced about something, and you know that it will help a lot of people, then it's what keeps you going. Right?
It's very selfless of you.
Well, yeah, and I'm sure there are many other people who do the same thing in their own small way.
Okay, next question.
Okay. Sige.
Alright. At what moment in your life did you realize that you wanted to pursue architecture? What compelled and drew you to take up architecture?
When I was in grade school, I wanted to be a doctor. I thought, it's cool to be a doctor. I have relatives who are doctors, a whole family of doctors, from the eldest to, from the parents to the youngest child. But then I said, shucks, puyat sila masyado, no? Tsaka, I cringe at the sight of blood. So maybe it's not for me. And then I realized architecture, napupuyat din pala. So it was not a determining factor. But when I was young, I would always be fascinated by buildings. When I see a building, I tend to analyze, why did they put up that building? You start from the ground, and below ground, you have to excavate, you have to put the foundations, then you put the floor by floor, the walls, and the utilities and everything. So when I see construction projects, I observe, I get curious, and
Intriguing.
it's intriguing, and it piques my curiosity. So I say, how did they put up that house? How did they design that house? And then I said, I think I want to be an architect. So then I thought, am I good at math? Calculus and physics. Anyway, if I'm, if I like something, as long as you want to do something and you enjoy it, I guess, even if it's hard, you go through it, right? Just like most of us. So I think, I decided to take up architecture. There's nobody in my family who's an architect except for my aunt and uncle who took up architecture, but they didn't practice. But anyway, I have a cousin who's an architect also from UP. And I'm glad that I took up archi because I'm enjoying it immensely. Even if it's not really easy, especially for a female, to be in this profession, which is male-dominated profession. Because when you're at the job site, especially when I was younger, like the contractor will give like a questioning look. Does she know? Is she?
They feel unsure.
Yeah. There seems to be like more confidence with male architects, especially when they're younger. But afterwards, maybe they see that you know what you're talking about. And with experience, and I think this is the profession, one of the professions that, aside from maybe a doctor or a lawyer, where to have white hair is an advantage.
Really? How so?
No, meaning when they see that you are a little bit senior, that means you have more experience. So it's the experience and the knowledge.
I see. So that's good to know.
Sometimes when they see you're too young, I had a client that asked me, "How old are you?" I said, "Sir, I'm old enough to design your project." And then
very good.
it started.
That's good.
Yeah.
All right. We'll proceed to the next question. Okay.
This is the last.
All right. Let's see. As an architect, you have already encountered so many people while you're practicing your profession. Are there any instances while you're doing a project, a contractor or manufacturer dealer offered you something for free? If so, how did you handle the situation?
Well, I think the guiding principle here is we need to distinguish between a bribe and a gift.
Yes.
Even with the intention, a bribe is like before you start on a project, and then a supplier offers you something for free or at an advantage, and that you will be somehow committed to that supplier, giving him unfair advantage over the rest of the suppliers, or in the sense of a bidding, maybe contractors, right? That they will offer something in exchange for getting the project. So I have always been, I've always tried to be fair and honest. I believe in the principles of integrity, that, honesty is the best policy. And I never really, I shy away sometimes from government projects that, you need to give a certain percentage to the one signing the contract, because they'll be the ones to award the project to you. I don't like the idea.
Yeah, of course.
So,
It
if I join a competition, even this recent competition that we sponsored, we removed all the names, we just put numbers, so that the judges don't even know who are the contestants. Right? So that's going to give a very neutral and objective, everybody set at equal footing. So even with the bidding, it has to be the same. Even if I recommend a bidder to join the bidding process, I do not divulge any information that is privileged information that I know as a design architect, joining the meetings with the executive committee, with the owners, because they're not supposed to. Right? So, and yeah, I don't believe in giving something, receiving something such that you'll be inclined to give your project to me. But it's a different thing altogether when you've given a project to a contractor, and out of gratitude, he give something. And then normally I invite them to, instead of giving it to me, would you like to donate it to a foundation? So, out of gratitude, then he writes a check and then I pass it to the foundation. So that's even more people that way.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Architect, would you want to say any last remarks to our audience?
Well, I'd like to thank you, Jana, and my batchmate who's the mother of Jana, who's the one behind the camera. And I just learned that your professor is attorney, architect Marlu Calderon. So, sir, hello. Don't forget to give them a good grade for this. Okay. So I hope I was able to contribute something with my knowledge and experience, and
Of course.
yeah, and this has been an enlightening discussion with you. And thank you, and good luck.
Thank you very much, Architect.
Welcome.